Hello, this is Katie here. In this video, I'm just going to be checking in about today and what I'm doing for my process. I'm very depressed right now. I'm wearing my bathrobe and I feel very monotonous. So I'm not sure how entertaining or interesting this video will be. But I guess I'm just going to check in, update about what I'm doing today to work on my process. This morning was rough. I had a lot of dreams last night, a lot of processing that was painful. Wouldn't call my dreams nightmares. Started having these experiences at night where parts go through what I'd consider to be their own hypnotic deprogramming processes that I'm not very personally involved in. And I experience these very non-dualistic but very unsettling types of trance-like dream experiences. Or like I said, I don't want to call them nightmares, but they weren't pleasant or good either. It's very weird for us. We like to put things in boxes, black and white categories, good and bad. And we can't do so right now with our dreams, which is unsettling for us. But it's probably a good thing. We want to move deeply towards non-duality every day with our process, as MK Ultra programming relies so heavily on dualistic black and white thinking. So we woke up processing some of that, had a rough time, did a lot of journaling, which helped, working with parts, or just kind of expressing their programming thoughts without really processing anything, just kind of getting it out. That was helpful. And we did some grounding exercises, some inner work with those parts that helped them to get more connected to the moment. And then I think I had some time loss. Sorry, I don't really remember what happened. I think I ate some breakfast. It's all kind of hazy. I was switching in parts. And then I had some parts come forward that wanted to watch MK Ultra trigger tapes, which was different. That hasn't happened in a long time. I don't think it was to activate anyone inside. It wasn't like that. These are parts that are new to awakening to the reality of our programming, who very much want to connect with it and understand it. And they were trying to get an understanding of it inside from talking to parts, but they were waking up too much out of the kind of internal subconscious language between parts and needed to see something more external. I don't know if that makes sense. This is part of our process. And so they came out and, with our supervision, watched some programming tapes, which we found online. And while I can't verify for certain the validity, the authenticity of them, definitely seemed real enough to me, definitely brought some things to light for those parts, helped them to understand the more creepy, subconscious, emotional nature of it on a conscious level, which can be healing. But now we're dealing with a lot of backlash from parts, a lot of confusion and pain. I am very pleased to say, though, that after 4 years of working on this stuff, I do not feel anywhere near as overwhelmed as I felt in the beginning of my process when I went and looked that stuff up. I feel a lot more grounded, a lot more solid, kind of detached. And after this, I'm going to go read some poetry and try and connect with my inner child and calm myself down, drink some water. Started a medication, a non-psychiatric medication that is causing me to dehydrate a lot, and so this is very triggering for us. We were recently on a similar medication that did that, and the last month we've been off it, and it's been a wonderful blessing for us to be able to retain water better. But now we're back to the dehydration, and that brings up a lot, as dehydration is a big form of MK Ultra torture that we've experienced. Starvation and dehydration. I get panic attacks very quickly when I get too thirsty or hungry. So I'm going to put this aside, and I'm going to go do some calming techniques, and like I said, read poetry, lie in bed. I might look out the window, maybe open it, and I don't want to go outside, but just feel the breeze That helps me a lot, just to get fresh air. I remember the times I spent underground in the trafficking rings, not knowing if I was ever going to breathe real air again or see the outside. So it's very comforting for parts. One thing that helps me with that is I have a lot of parts that can't see or hear yet. They're still trapped inside in sensory deprivation, but we're slowly working on sensitizing them. And one of the things we've learned to do is to tell them about the external world without actually showing it to them directly. So we just describe the colors, and we might connect them to a memory or two from when they were small before they split. That enables them to have a frame of reference for what the world looks like without actually showing it to them and traumatizing it to them now.